General Grievous was one of the most terrifying fighters that the Star Wars galaxy had ever seen. An individual who made it his sole purpose to hunt down and kill the Jedi that he was so jealous of. Jealous for the simple fact that when they had the opportunity to help his people, they did not. And in canon continuity, jealous because he believed that they were some of the only individuals in the entire galaxy that could defeat him in single combat. And when he attempted to pledge himself to them, they rejected his skills, as they deemed him unable to touch the gifts of the Force. Regardless of this though, General Grievous was an absolute powerhouse on the battlefield, one of the most ruthless commanders and battlefield tacticians. He was willing to cut whatever corners necessary, be it honor or duty, to butcher any Jedi within his path. And he was quite successful at it. But while this offered many advantages to the Separatists, it offered one major drawback for Darth Sidious in particular. How did Palpatine plan on getting rid of such a ferocious demon when the Clone Wars ultimately concluded? And what was his plan to take out somebody as powerful and skilled as General Grievous? Well, today, students of the Force, we have that answer. First off, Dooku knew that Grievous was intended to be captured by the Republic at the conclusion of the Clone Wars. This was done for a very specific reason, as General Grievous was going to be painted out as the true monster of the Clone War, essentially washing the blame from any of Dooku's hands, and allowing for the reputation of Dooku to essentially be restored in the eyes of the public. Essentially, the plan was, as at least as Dooku believed it to be, was that he was going to be redeemed and absolved of any of the crimes committed over the course of the Clone War. All of the atrocities of the Separatists were going to be blamed squarely on the shoulders of one General Grievous. Perhaps Palpatine even intended for Dooku to be the one to take out Grievous after discovering the atrocities. Palpatine needed this to happen because, as Dooku believed, he was going to be put in a place of high power during the era of the New Empire, and therefore they needed someone to blame the entirety of the Clone Wars and the atrocity of the Separatists on, and that individual was Grievous, or at least Dooku thought it was. This was essentially in an effort to separate the Separatists from Dooku. However, as we know, this was never truly Darth Sidious's plan. What Palpatine's plan was that Dooku was always going to be killed by Anakin. Palpatine never wanted to rule alongside Dooku. He always wanted the superior option in the Chosen One, turned Dark Chosen One, Darth Vader. And Dooku was only a tool and a means to an end, and an ultimate test for Anakin Skywalker, the true desired apprentice. This is why Palpatine's original death for General Grievous was planned during the Battle of Coruscant, the same time that Dooku was killed, and during the same battle. Only Palpatine believed that Grievous would be killed just after Dooku had been slain by Anakin, and the Invisible Hand would mark the final confrontation of Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Grievous. Palpatine did not want to have the Jedi hunt down Grievous, and did not believe that Obi-Wan Kenobi was personally capable of defeating him on his own. Therefore, he believed that Grievous needed to be killed on the Invisible Hand during the Battle of Coruscant, tying up two major Separatist loose ends at once and by the hands of one Anakin Skywalker. Palpatine believed that the combined might of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin would be more than a match for General Grievous. Even more than this though, Palpatine believed that Anakin was finally powerful enough to beat Grievous on his own. His logic being that if Anakin Skywalker was able to defeat Dooku in single combat, then he most certainly could defeat General Grievous. It's important to note that before this, Palpatine did not want Grievous and Anakin to encounter one another over the Clone War, as he believed that General Grievous had a legitimate chance of getting lucky against Anakin. But it was only after Anakin Skywalker fully proved himself superior to Dooku, who Palpatine knew was essentially one of, if not the greatest swordsman alive, that he believed that Anakin could take down Grievous, and that he was now fully ready. As to exactly why he needed it to be Anakin to be the one to take out General Grievous is also important to his ultimate grand plan. Palpatine believed that Anakin Skywalker would be able to transcend the reputation of any Jedi if he could be single-handedly the individual that ended the Clone War. Essentially, Anakin Skywalker being the only one to bring an end to the wrath of Dooku and General Grievous in a single day and on his own. Palpatine believed that this was the necessary separation that Anakin would need from the Jedi Order when he deemed them all as traitors to the Republic and ordered their entire execution. And Darth Sidious believed that it was this climactic final moment where Anakin could prove himself superior to any Jedi that he could use to sway the public. Again, it was initially Palpatine's plan to eventually hand hand over the entirety of the Empire to Anakin. But because of the fact that he was a Jedi, he needed a viable explanation and essentially an excuse as to why Anakin should be a part of the new Empire, when of course he was formally aligned with the Jedi, who were painted out as the true villains of the war. The plan of Darth Sidious on the Invisible Hand, though, is ultimately foiled by none other than Anakin himself. Once Obi-Wan Kenobi is unconscious, Palpatine's plan was to convince Anakin to go confront and hunt down General Grievous, believing that while Anakin was dueling General Grievous and hopefully killing him on the deck of the Invisible Hand, that Palpatine would have the necessary time to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi. At the time, besides Padme, Palpatine believed that Obi-Wan Kenobi was the only thing submitting Anakin Skywalker's allegiance to the Jedi and the light side, and that if he could take this crucial moment to kill Obi-Wan, then Anakin's turn would be fully cemented. This is why he is so pushy on the fact that Anakin needs to go confront General Grievous, and why they need to leave Obi-Wan Kenobi behind. But of course, we now know that Palpatine's original plan to take out General Grievous was thwarted by none other than Anakin himself, who refused to leave Obi-Wan Kenobi behind, and therefore Anakin was unable to draw upon his rage, and General Grievous was allowed to escape to the world of Utapau. So then, what was Darth Sidious's second plan to take care of General Grievous after his initial plans failed? The simple answer again is Darth Vader. However, when the Jedi Council decided to send Obi-Wan Kenobi to Utapau to confront and kill General Grievous, Darth Sidious knew that they had lost. He knew that Anakin Skywalker was close to the breaking point, and the second that they decided to send Obi-Wan away, Darth Sidious knew that he could fully corrupt the young boy without his Jedi mentor, and therefore, he knew that the fate of the Jedi was already sealed. And his simple plan was to turn Anakin Skywalker to the dark side of the Force fully. And if General Grievous happened to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi on Utapau, and the Jedi were unable to track him down afterwards, he simply would have sent a full-powered Lord Vader after General Grievous, likely as a surprise attack, and Grievous would have met his end. So to answer the question quite simply, the plan that Darth Sidious had to defeat and kill General Grievous at the end of the Clone Wars was Anakin. Whether or not that was Anakin Skywalker aboard the Invisible Hand, or a fully formed Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith. In the end though, he always believed that Darth Vader Anakin would grow too powerful for even the might of the Jedi Butcher in Grievous, and that eventually he would be able to take him down at his highest power. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? And what are your thoughts on Darth Sidious's plan to take out General Grievous? And do you think that it was a good one? Do you believe that he put too much faith in Anakin Skywalker? And what would you think would happen if Anakin and General Grievous dueled one another? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for continuing to watch and support the channel. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.